It's pretty low on this mic. Get it up there so you can hear me. What's up? All right. It's 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a pretty big deal. I like it. And by pretty big deal, I mean still just the beginning. So I am just kind of hanging out. It's my afternoon. I got in a little bit early, like I wanted to. This is kind of the scheduling slot I'm going to shoot for in the future, but failing this, I'll definitely be on around 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock is really cutting it close for me, but yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I've learned to not just drag out these intros, so we're just gonna jump right in. I'm gonna continue a drawing I was doing yesterday, where I had been doing like sort of a giant robot drawing. I'd never really done a full drawing of a giant robot, so this is interesting. There's something going on with my background. What's going on with that? Let me get that started up again. Oh, I paused it. Play. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, well, I got my headphones on. Turning down my monitor a little bit. Trying to get used to like actually paying attention to the monitor, so that the stream doesn't cut out constantly and stuff like that, and I wouldn't know. In any case, turned on my heat for the first time this year. Not this year, but like this winter. And I hear that good heat flowing through the vents in my house. And I hear it, and it sounds like spending money constantly. So hopefully we work out our whole oil deal. In that maybe this house shouldn't be heated by oil if it's like gonna be up in good old New England with our crazy cold weather. That's, honestly pretty mild up until the last couple days. So in the sense of how winter typically goes, it's been a good year. It's always paired with the dread of that is perhaps attributed to climate change, but in these days, sometimes you just gotta like not look the gift horse in the mouth. Every day I'm not shoveling snow so that, people can get out of our driveway in the morning. It's a good day. Until it's just not. Last time I drew this robot, I had put in some details in the like cockpit area, we'll call it. I don't like this. I'm going to change my camera angle. My hand's really getting in the way over there. Whoa. Anyways, I'm changing that. That over here. I look forward to, my favorite part of drawing isn't so much the like sketching. The sketching is like excellent, trust me. But like when I'm finally doing like even this part of inking is really just kind of like saying I put these lines down in pencil and now I'm kind of committing to them. That's okay, but ultimately my favorite part of all this is going to be whenever I decide where shadows go. And for some reason putting shadows on is like so incredibly satisfying. It's not painstaking at all. It used to be the part of the art like making that hurt the most because I felt like, oh, I've made all these beautiful lines and now I'm going to like cover up a good amount of them in black and they're just going to completely disappear. And so for a while my artwork was just like really a lot of line work, and I was really proud of my line work. I'm still proud of my line work, but I'm way less precious about it. part of that's working on a computer a lot, because you work on a computer a lot and you eventually get used to the idea that you might draw something and then it would just either by error or by like some other means you can just kind of erase and delete it. So this set like it's kind of coming around to like, oh, these things are pretty finite, so I try not to worry too much now when it comes to putting down lines. Otherwise, it'll take me 100 years. I just don't have time for that. All right, I'll do these legs. I'm going to be adding some details that I definitely didn't sketch because it's day 2. I like for the drawing to stay fresh. If I go through and just rehash the things I drew yesterday, I don't think I'm drawing all that much. So usually I'll actually kind of redraw pieces. Robots are interesting because you get to like re-explore the shapes you drew on one side on the other side for symmetry purposes. Doesn't look right if the robot's asymmetrical. Nothing wrong with an asymmetrical robot, but it does sort of break the illusion that something is robotic. It kind of becomes more like scrap heap or like tossed together. So definitely works for some robots, but not all. In any case, it's good to like be able to look back and forth and kind of imagine how that shape would look rotated. It starts to give the actual piece of artwork some life. I'm gonna up the volume of the music here in a sec and lower the volume on my mic because I don't feel like talking the whole time. But you know what? Thanks for listening this far. If you're watching back later, if you're lurking, if you want me to talk some more, you got more questions, go ahead and send me a message in chat. I'm always watching my chat, and I'll get back to you. Ooh. Hey, just gonna thank a lurker. I know you're out there. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching. There it is. This part of the drawing's really boring. It's like a lot of just filling in these little tree guys back here. And I'm gonna try to do it as quick as possible. But I did want to take this time to just say, drawing every day, this is my 3rd week of it. I've become a lot more confident. My hopes for this are that, you know, other people are encouraged to kind of build up a practice themselves. When I started art school, I wasn't really all about discipline. And I would say that as far as discipline goes, like the concept that they wanted me to learn wasn't really what I needed. The art school discipline looked more like, don't goof around and put like funny faces on everything you draw. You know, don't joke around and make it so the figure you're drawing is like boarding a spaceship, or like their head has popped off and or they're slightly disembodied and their limbs are floating around them. Like, not in a gory way, but like in a comic way. I was never like that. Don't get me wrong, but that was the discipline they wanted me to do. Is like, just draw things normal. And I mean, I could draw things normal. That's easy. So drawing things interesting was what I wanted to do. So I never quite learned that discipline, I would say. I can sit down and do a very realistic image, but it just never really occurs to me to do that kind of stuff. And when I do, it is satisfying, I won't lie. I would just rather do something fun. But the one thing I did realize here maybe long after I got out of college is that the real discipline was, you know, get this done on time and get the grade. And I was drawing every single day then, and I grew so much. And when I reflected back on college, I decided, like, if I had just drawn every day without a teacher, I probably would have also learned a lot. That's why I'm doing it now. I just want to be better. And I'm getting better already. So, I mean, it works. Just practice. That's the sort of discipline that I'm getting through my own guidance now. And that's a real thing I needed, was a reason to do it every day. So creating this series, I left it nice and broad and open. All I'm doing is drawing. I might not draw something good. I might paint something. You know, painting is like drawing, basically. Just with a brush. So, yeah. I hope people enjoy this. I hope you find it, you know, maybe relaxing or centering or inspiring or, you know, that sort of stuff. But, like, all in all, if you engage with it, that's probably the most exciting and rewarding thing for me. So, when I look up and I see that, like, one person or two people are out there viewing this, that's kind of all the validation I need in life. I'm kind of good in the day. And I know that sometimes that's just people who know me who are supportive. Just lurking themselves. That background's kind of noisy. 1 second. Whoa! I guess I could do that. It's really glitchy and slow. Oh, it paused. It stopped. Alright, now it's going again. Anyways, I just wanted to take a break from all this boring stuff and kind of like what's honestly extremely slow art making and say that. I predict like later on, you know, if you do decide to subscribe to this, you'll just be part of a beginning group of people who got to watch this grow into something. I really don't see this not going anywhere. I think it will 100% go somewhere. My ultimate hope is that this goes to a place where I can, you know, work independently and maybe have a Patreon. Get some people to patronize me. Patronize me. Please, I love it. Yeah. But no, it'd be good to have some people just supporting. I get, you know, I work a full-time job, so, or otherwise I'd be doing any number of things all the time during the day. I'm one of those folks who wakes up, and I'm fortunate enough to work from home, and I kind of sit down and I put on a podcast, and instantly I have an idea to do anything else. Usually that looks like a lot of writing or a sketch or like a dungeon design for, you know, role-playing type games. You've probably heard of them. Actually, in that vein, one of the things I do want to do is right now I've been running a game for almost, well, over 2 years now. Every weekend I meet up with some people online who I met during the 2020 era, we'll call it 2020-21 time of us kind of all being stuck inside with our thoughts. And I ran a game for those guys, and I'm still running a game for those guys, but as much as I love doing that, I'm looking forward to the day where I move on and I do different things, because I want to start running small, shorter games. Whoa, this is really blown out. You know what? I think I'm going to stop the background video because it's kind of getting unpredictable and slow. There we go. Raw art. All right. A grove of pines. Lovely. Oh, it got good in the background as soon as I turned it off. I think like running it through OBS is kind of like intensive on my CPU. In a few days we have Christmas coming up. And I'm thinking about like, what am I going to do for the stream on Christmas? Should I do something special? Should I should I even stream? And I'm like, well, of course I have to. I've been doing it this long. I think it's going to be the first real test of the longevity of the stream, because you know, I will have family things to do all day, and I won't be in my cozy little office. I'm going to be away, so it'll be interesting to see how that, how I find a way to stream. I have a feeling that I will either find somebody with a laptop, because I do not have a laptop, or I will stream directly from my phone, since I have Streamlabs on my phone. I haven't really taken the time to test out that, so I suppose sometime in between then and the actual day I will work out a method for it. And we have New Year's, any holiday, anything where it draws me away from my comfy little desk. There will be times where I go and travel. Haven't had a chance to enjoy that recently, so that'll be interesting. I think my next real big travel adventure is set to be in Japan, so that could be cool to see how that pans out. Probably go to a park somewhere and have my phone and just stream from it. But that'll be a challenge on a daily basis because, you know, you have a schedule when you're out traveling. And you've got to work with that. It'll be interesting. Of course, I don't even know when that is yet because my travel plans have been sort of habitually delayed by life, I guess. It's like stuff keeps coming up. It's part of the reason why I haven't been able to draw every day just as a regular human being who is not streaming. I'm hoping that changes soon. You know, life is unpredictable, but you eventually find a rhythm, I hope. Right? People out there have been living. Let me know you find a rhythm eventually. Can you figure out this thing? I'm gonna put a big fat outline on my robot because I don't want his legs to get lost in the trees. I'm gonna try two different outlines. I'm gonna try a white outline. We'll see how that works. Not sure. I feel like black is really gonna make him disappear, but maybe I should hold off on the outline. Excuse my slurping. Is it affogato when you put coffee and ice cream together? I think so. If you haven't done that ever, do yourself a favor and go buy a big tub of vanilla ice cream and brew yourself some coffee and squish those things together, hot or cold. It's good. I think the white outline works because I'm already seeing how I know me, and I know that I'm going to put lots of black on here. Oh, sorry. I saw my video background was actually doing some exciting things, so I was like, oh, I want to do that. It's a little confusing. I'm gonna adjust the settings of it so that we are getting a lot more black. So hold on a sec. In a second, I'm gonna change the music. I've gotten no consensus on the music. I think, in general, it's been stated so far that it is sort of preferable to have sort of more alternative styles of music playing. go. That's way less distracting. All right, so I'm actually gonna change music from this kind of generic, slow-paced, chill hop kind of playlist, which I've been enjoying. I'm gonna switch it to something else. There is an artist. I've been playing a lot of Carl Casey, and I've been playing a lot of Master Boot Record, both artists I recommend checking out if you like darkwave or heavy metal, but like more synthy. Heavy metal synth is something that kind of blew my mind whenever I first listened to it because it was exciting. I'm going to switch this to another playlist, and the only reason I've kind of held off on doing this is because it's hard to find artists who are kind of lenient about using their music. I recently went and checked out a producer who said that the artists they produce for I have DMCA free music, like you can play it. And I was like, okay. So I am gonna try playing music by Fever Fever. That's what I'm calling them. It's FVR. They are part of that label. I'm gonna play their latest album. This is more of a I would call it OSR music, or like dungeon synths. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I'm gonna mute my mic. No one's in the chat, so I'm not talking to anybody as far as I'm concerned. Thanks for lurking, though. I see there are people watching. Hey, so my hand is cramping up pretty bad. It is kind of early, maybe. I don't know. I've got a little bit of weekend time left. I'm working out some ideas for this whole background area. I'm at a point where I'm trying to, I covered up a whole hand here, which I'm not happy about. And also, I'm trying to decide if I want this to be one of those drawings that goes from dark to light or light to dark. I think I'm going to go dark to light, which means that these clouds I'm probably going to do in a gray. And then these trees are still a background, so they're going to be dark to light at the bottom. So I've already started doing that. And then here in the foreground, I'm going to have it almost look like this is like in headlights or something, that kind of like spotlight mode, where all the light is kind of centered around this figure, and then everything else kind of rises up out of it. So I guess this whole background area is going to be black. I could start on that now. My hand is starting to cramp, like I said, but it'd be good to have that kind of established. I'm going to do some... I very quickly gestured in these clouds, and now I'm going to take my time with them. I love drawing big fluffy clouds, and you should too. It's good for you. The big clouds are great because they're multi-purpose. They are the metaphor for the storm on the horizon, which is always fun. And they are a great framing element. And to just talk in artist terms, you know, here we are, just kind of highlighting this big figure here by putting something around him. Alright. Love those clouds, and they're gonna really pop as soon as I put the black in the background. I'm gonna go back to my brush pen. Again, I just discovered that Uniposca, which if you haven't discovered Uniposca, you need to discover Uniposca. These are, like, the cool thing about them is, like, the ink that's showing through on the other side of this is like ballpoint pen ink, but like all that black from this isn't bleeding through this very thin paper, so it's kind of fun that I can do that. They also have a lot of control as far as ink flow goes. Basically, if you're using the felt tips, you just press them down, and that's how you increase your ink flow. And on these, they have like this button on the back. You can press down a few times to sort of get your ink going. Right now I'm working with a dry brush, but basically you can control whether or not you have a dry brush or a really saturated brush tip. I think the only drawback of that is you don't have a constant flow of ink, so you kind of have to get it going every time. You can kind of see it starting to come out. You see it's really wet down there. Or maybe not, because the quality with that background is kind of crazy, but my goal here is to really saturate it as I go. I might, I see the ink getting down there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a few pumps, and I'm going to put it, not like that. I'm going to put it back in its cap and let the ink flow into the bristles of the pen. And while that's happening, I'm going to take one of my other paint brushes and just start going to town with getting some of the black filled in. I think this one's doing pretty good. No, that's silver. Silver, my man. Don't do that. I had all of them out the other day. Really. This is my dry brush one, my big fat dry brush. Where's my... you might have seen a few... Oh, here it is. I got one brand new guy right here, and this, you can just, ugh, that's so nice. I did do a bunch of black the other day on a skull sketch. It's like 2 days ago. 1 day ago. It wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. And that really curled the pages. This paper is definitely not meant for heavier medium. So this probably curl the pages, but... I work with control in this and just get it as close to everything as possible. That way, whenever I go in with my my brush pen, I'm not like, I'm just filling in details. This is a long stream today, huh? This is what happens when I start early, is I don't cut it off at like an hour. Or I don't tell you right off the bat I'm only going to do this for 45 minutes. I like straight up just go until something happens in my life that makes me stop. Which right now is just going to be maybe being sleepy. I don't know, I got some coffee in me. Affogato. A little bit of ice cream in there, some iced coffee. Oh, that's good. Oh, is this black? No, that's silver. And then I got a gray. So the difference between silver and gray. Looking pretty good. This brush pen should be ready by now. So I can kind of... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to fill it in nice. Get in those tiny little cracks with that acrylic. I think Unipascas are acrylic. The way they stick to paper makes me think of them as acrylic. And they dry so fast. I finally found an art store that doesn't put them in a locked cabinet, which is a first. Everywhere I've ever gone, I need to like get a store associate to help me buy them because they are a favorite for taggers. You know, they are great for tagging. I mean, they go on any surface. The first time I found Unipasca pens was I was looking for something new. This was maybe like 14 years ago. And I came across I was looking for something specifically like this, and I came across a website that sold different types of stationery, and specifically they were like, this is great for like drawing prices on cars and it doesn't wash off in the rain if you like write on the glass. And I was like, wow, let's give those a shot. And they've been great ever since, and they've picked up in popularity over time. Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure they're, for a long time I could only get them as imports from, like they were like a European brand. I don't know where Unipaska come from. That's not their rule. I'm gonna have to refine this edge a little bit. Yeah, I don't like parts of that, but it is what it is. Oh, let me back out this camera. You know what? I think I can switch it to like a wide mode. You can see a little bit of the mess on my desk. It's just a mess of pens. Yeah, there he is. I'm going to take a break now. Next time I will probably fill in all these tree elements in the time between this and next stream, just because it is like kind of time consuming and it's boring. It's like something I can do while watching a TV show or something. And then I'll save this like lower part here for probably the next stream. So I hope I get there. But anyways, it's been fun drawing tonight with everybody. If you're watching, if you're lurking, go ahead and follow. It doesn't hurt anybody. You're not paying anything. It's all free content. And you get a little notification. It'll help me get on my way to, just a little bit more visibility overall. So I appreciate anybody who does that. I do see you lurkers hanging out in there. For some reason, there is an option to see who's in the chat room, and there's always way more people in the chat room than there are people actually viewing. And I don't know how that works. I'm also on YouTube. I stream on YouTube too. My schedule is always in the afternoon, so if you are kind of coming in after work and you're like in the Midwest or even out in Eastern Mountain Time or you're out in California, it should be generally pretty accessible for you. Right after working hours, around 5, 6 o'clock is usually when I'm going on here. Probably more 5 o'clock is my goal, but I'm out on the East Coast, streaming out of the Boston area, so if you're from around there, go ahead and support your local artists. Give me a follow. I appreciate that. Tell your friends if you are following. Just help me out. If you don't do it, then don't worry. I'll still be here tomorrow, streaming, drawing every single day. Probably changing the name of the stream to something different. Eventually. I like the word Arcanum, so I'll probably do something with that. That's kind of where I've gotten. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope this part of the video doesn't get muted because I haven't tested this audio. So if you're watching this now, this is probably all of it. This is it. Yeah. Hey, good night, I guess. And thanks.